I'm officially 20 weeks pregnant. And when I actually first got pregnant, I really thought about whether I could even continue to homestead, because that's something that we do at our farm, and we take care of quail, chickens, rabbits, and in the summer we even do gardening. It's winter right now, so that isn't something that we have to worry about. But I started to research so much, and the answer is yes, you can continue to homestead, but with precautions. Now, when you are pregnant, there's definitely a list of things that you can't do. You can't eat certain types of foods, and you really shouldn't overexert yourself, because when you're pregnant, you have a lot less stamina, your balance isn't as great, and honestly, sometimes you're just not feeling up to it, especially if you're someone that got really nauseous or sick during the first trimester, which is really common. Now, I was lucky enough to not have a lot of things actually affect me during the beginning of my pregnancy, and even at week 20 I feel pretty good. But there's a lot of things that I've stopped doing. Now, we actually have a really small homestead. We mostly take care of things for ourselves so that we can live a more sustainable lifestyle. So we really just have some chickens, quail, and rabbits that we're taking care of. I have a really great husband that actually helps out so much. And we're going to break down some do's and don'ts of homesteading and pregnancy. And I definitely suggest consulting with your doctor as well, because they might have some things that you want to keep in mind as well. And one thing that I found, just to be completely honest, is there isn't too much material around the interwebs on this. So some of these things I did just stop doing just to be better and cleaner, specifically dealing with animal droppings, because you're not really supposed to go into cat litter boxes. So I felt like it was just a safer situation to not be around some of the chicken poop and rabbit poop, and to just try to not do as much during this time. Let's talk about the do's when homesteading while pregnant. Now, the first one is going to be to actually wash your hands. Now, for the most part, you probably are going to be already washing your hands on a regular basis, but it's really important that when you are pregnant, you're extra clean, and you most likely did touch an animal or were outside in the garden, and it's really important that you're keeping yourself clean. The second tip is going to be to actually make sure that you're washing everything. Now, it's really easy to be outside in the garden and just take something and nibble on it, but during this time, you want to be extra precautious about what you're putting in your body. You're actually growing a human, and a lot of your energy is going to be focused on that baby, so you really don't want to be sick during this time. So making sure that you're washing everything really, really well is going to be really helpful. You don't know if there's going to be any poop or dirt or anything else on those items, so really make sure that both your hands and your food is cleaned really, really well. The third thing is to take it slow. During this time, our limbs are a lot more jello-y than usual, and sometimes it can be easy to just walk outside and do something and not really think much of it. But if there are slicker conditions, you're rushing to do something, you could fall, and it could be a lot more dangerous than if you weren't pregnant. So really take your time when you're outside doing any of your chores and tasks, and make sure that you're on steady ground and that you're holding on to things so that you don't fall and hurt yourself or your little baby that's going to be coming soon. The next one is to stay hydrated. Now, during this time, you actually need a lot more water in your system, because you have a baby that you're growing, and there's a lot more fluids that are just going to be in use. And it's really easy to be outside gardening or doing tasks, especially in the heat of summer, and you might not notice that you really need to start replenishing your body. So definitely think about when you're outside, how long you've been out there, and if you should be drinking more than usual, because you don't want to tire yourself out and you don't want to get dehydrated, especially with those outdoor tasks in the summer. And just overall, take it easy. And the last one here, which is definitely hard for me, and it's been really hard for me during this time, is accepting help. Now, a lot of people want to actually help you. When they say they want to help you, they actually mean it, and you should accept that help. You definitely are just a lot more slow moving. Things are a lot harder. I mean, I get out of breath doing really easy, basic things. Just putting on my socks and shoes sometimes, I get out of breath. So really think about what people are asking and accept it. It's not a weakness to say, yeah, I would like you to help me. And hopefully you do have good friends, a partner, and people around you that are offering this and they are here to help you. But definitely don't be afraid to accept it. It's really important during your pregnancy to really listen to your body, especially if you're not feeling too great because of your pregnancy. Make sure that you really aren't overexerting yourself and that you're just taking it easy. But two major don'ts that I want to think about during this pregnancy and that I advise on. And the first one is to not use really heavy cleaning supplies. If you do any research on pregnancy, they really suggest that you don't use heavy cleaning supplies in your house. And this is going to be throughout all activities because you really don't want to be breathing in a lot of those fumes when you do have your baby. Some things that you can do to help avoid these situations is going to be asking for help. Again, this is a do that I talked about a little bit earlier. Ask your partner, family, friends to help with some of the deep cleaning. Maybe get a cleaning lady during this time. And you can also substitute a lot of your cleaning products for natural and unscented products. And it's really easy to find a lot of these in stores around. And I'll even link some that we have gotten off of Amazon down below that are really some green natural products that you can use during this time. Or you can even make some of your own products. I also suggest staying away from air fresheners. And when you do have to clean, even if you are using natural products or if you're just unsure about some of the products, definitely make sure that you're opening windows and you're in a well-ventilated area so that you're not breathing in a lot of those fumes and there's no harm that could be caused to your baby. The next don't is don't overdo it. And let me tell you, this is really hard for me because I'm used to really pushing the limits on things that I could do. And it's taken a lot of mental strength to be like, okay, Danielle, you need to stop, but you really need to hold back. You only have a certain amount of energy and strength and stamina that you can do per day, and you really don't want to overexhaust yourself. Trust me, I've done some things and then I'm just down for the count for way longer than I would have been before I was pregnant. So make sure that you are listening to your body and you know when to stop. For example, if you have really heavy bags of feed that you're picking up from the store, ask the salespeople to actually help you load it into their car. I do this all the time and people are really generally nice about this, and you don't always have to outload it from your car. You can have your husband or a friend or neighbor help you unload things from your car and bring them into the barn as well. So that's one thing you can do there. And then in the summer, it's really important that you're listening to your body even more. The combination of working hard with the sun and the heat is going to be really intense, and you want to make sure that you're really listening to everything. You're drinking lots of fluids and you're really listening to your body and the signals that it's telling you, and you're taking it easy. Now, these do's and don'ts are not all encompassing. There are definitely some guidelines to stick by, but depending on your pregnancy, what capabilities you have, it can definitely fluctuate and change. And I'd love to hear your comments down below. As I'm definitely going through this, I'm going to keep learning more about homesteading and pregnancy, and I'm excited to continue to share this journey with you. Have a good one. Bye.